Brandon Connor with my co-host.
I'm gonna repeat that. Suffer spirit. Repeat
You
that
want
and
me to
I'll put
repeat
it back
that?
on. Yep. Quick repeat.
All right.
Yeah, we're ready. I'm sorry.
You want to give me a countdown? Welcome back to another episode of Project Backspace. I am Brandon Connor, and I am here with my co-host.
Suffer spirit.
We have an amazing episode, another controversial topic. Where me and my co-host are probably going to be arguing. So make sure you guys tune into this one. Appreciate all your support for us and What's Good Radio. Check out, we're a 24/7 radio station and it is family friendly. So make sure you guys check that out. Today we're gonna have some very hot topics. We're gonna be talking about the felony part. We're not going to say politics, but we're going to talk about the felony aspects of this situation. We're going to talk about the legality and reality of it. We're not going to call it politics, legality, reality of the situation. And we also are going to be lightening it up because we're going to be talking about soy and there's all kinds of different,
Weird stuff with that.
ideas and people think of different things. So we got that topic. We're also going to be talking about, do ghosts have physical bodies? When I pass away, will I be passing away with my Jordans, and will I have the fresh white t-shirt and the same jeans while I'm haunting people? So we're going to be talking about that. But before we do that, let's talk about our weekend. How was your weekend?
Um, good question. you know, it was pretty good. I mean, we what did I do? Oh, yes. I forgot. Oh my gosh. So I went to see Common on, I want to say Saturday. We did, we also did interviews with Ian Burke, who, he formed the TLC. I can't speak. Oh my God, guys.
TLC, yeah, the TLC
He
group.
formed TLC, and we did interviews with his new girl group, Peach Three. We also did interviews with an up and coming artist from Arizona, Prince Goldie, with a local artist, London Monroe. We were supposed to do an interview with Curfew. Hopefully, we'll be able to do that at a later time, but it was all because of I don't know if you know, the Batgirl Lele concert.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so we managed to get some interviews with a lot of the performers for that night.
Did you go to the
What else
actual
did we
show?
do?
Were you at the show?
No, no. The tickets were wildly pricey. Like, whoa, my God. But
Yeah,
hey,
it was still pretty packed out. Looked like it was a good show for sure.
oh yeah, it honestly looked like it was going to be fun. And talking to them was really interesting, just hearing what they had to say about things. Common was awesome. I know you had something really crazy going on this weekend. What happened?
Yeah, oof. I feel like every weekend has just been a movie lately. So this Saturday we performed at the Gypsy House Cafe. Amazing people there, amazing staff. And it was actually packed. It was pretty packed out. I don't know exactly the
Ooh.
actual number, but it was definitely, you had to say some excuse me's in there while you were moving around. So that's always a good thing. We celebrated David Sold Out's birthday party, so everyone just had like a really good time. All the artists were really, really talented. We had She Who Won't Be Named. She did really well. Just Call Me Home was amazing, amazing singer. And the crowd reaction, I think that was one of the best crowd reactions. Everyone was singing people's songs. They were hyping it. They were getting down. And I think it was definitely one of our better shows this year. And then on Monday, we went down to Street Champs. So shout out to Street Champs. Did an
Shout
interview with
outs.
Lodi. Yeah, did an interview with Lodi Trail, me, and then we did our first reaction video. People loved our reaction video. I think me and Lodi definitely got good chemistry on that. So we might be doing more reaction videos in the future if that's what the people want. And other than that, it's just, and then I curate. I listen to music and pick out music for my playlist. That's been doing really well. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers on there, so we are about to hit 400. So we're moving pretty fast on that.
Woo!
Yeah, so it's been really blessed. All glory goes to God. It's nice when your dreams are starting to finally take off and
Yes.
things are finally starting to go your way. Uh, I uh, I had a really good weekend, really productive. So shout out
Yeah.
to everybody involved in
That's
that show.
amazing.
Shout out to Common. It's just we got a lot of stuff going on. So
Yeah, it's been
that was
weird.
yeah, that was my weekend. Getting used to this. It's being hot now, so getting used to the heat out
Oh,
here.
yeah, no. I am
Oh, we
not
got
gonna
a
lie,
pool. We got a
low
little
key
baby
dying.
pool. My bad.
Oh, okay, that's so
Yeah,
cute.
we got like a little baby pool, and then we got a slide so the kids can slide in it. So we've been doing that in the backyard as well. That's pretty
See, I've
much
been
it.
sourcing little baby pools, but honestly, not for me personally, which sort of sucks because like I have a pool, um, but I can't set it up, and I've been sad about it.
it's
So
it's
so
this
I've
one's
been
kind of cool because
sourcing.
this one shoots out water. It like shoots out water like a fountain. So it's like
Oh, I've been seeing those online. But
yeah, it's
like,
pretty
okay,
cool.
so it is funny because like I said, I've been looking up, kid pools and little baby pools and water balloons and all this stuff. But it's for the event that I'm definitely going to shout out again later on.
Shout
Um,
it out right now.
well, it's Rainbow Splash. I'll give you guys some more details towards the end so we don't take up too much of your time. But yeah, I've been sourcing those things because I've been like, I need to. Uh,
Yeah.
it's the most taxing part of any event. And I'm just sad because I can't actually set my own pull up. And I'm like, I've had this thing and it costs so much.
you
It's
gotta,
such
you
a
gotta,
pain in the butt
you
because
gotta,
it's one of
you
those
gotta
huge.
use, use a YouTube thing. Use a YouTube thing
Well, it's one
that'll
of those
teach you.
huge above ground pools. The problem is I just
Oh,
don't have
okay.
space in my
That's how
backyard
you,
for
you
it.
gotta get you gotta get the boys to do that for you. Tell
Well,
tell
you
the
have to
boys to
like
do
we
it
have
for
to
you.
level the whole thing, and it's just not
Yeah,
worth it
pain.
this summer. I'm just gonna suffer. It's okay. All right.
So I'm super happy to hear that it's been a productive weekend for both sides. And for those listening, always tell us about your weekend. We always want to know what you're up to, what you did. If you have stories, let us know. Visit the Project Backspace Facebook. We're gonna be working on the Instagram very shortly. I got extra
Yes.
time. I got time now to focus on what's important, which is Project Backspace. Okay, we're about to put Project Backspace on the map. I see us winning awards in the future and everything because
I
this is
mean,
just it's an amazing show with amazing people on camera and behind camera. So shout out to everybody.
amen.
Shout out to everybody on Project Backspace. We're gonna take a quick break. I need you guys to take a deep breath. If you are triggered by politics stuff, please, skip it. You don't have to abandon us. We're not really picking sides. That's not something we're gonna do. It's just gonna be talking about the sides. So take a deep breath, and we'll be right back. Oh,
Suffer spirit.
you wanna do that again?
What?
Let's do it again.
Okay.
We'll do it
All
again.
right.
Well, welcome back to Project Backspace. I am Brandon Connor here with my co-host.
Suffer spirit.
And so we're going to be talking about this is a very hard topic for me because I know people get really triggered by this. But recently, Donald Trump was convicted on all charges, and this makes
Hmm.
him a felon. Now, we all know the man
Yes.
wasn't going to go. We all know he's not going to jail. He's probably going to get probation. But
I mean,
I
yeah,
think
I
he had a
agree with that
probation hearing.
actually.
I think he had a probation hearing for it or whatever. But either or, it makes him a felon. Now, the crazy thing about it is for all of us that live on planet Earth, if you are a felon, it is
Hmm.
very hard for you to get work. It is very hard for you to rent an apartment. It is very hard for people to trust you, period. Now, this is
Yes.
hypocritical because we possibly might have a felon as a president.
I
Now,
mean, yeah. There's this is a weird universe we live in when I think about it, and it's not because of it's tough to when you talk about this in a way because on one hand I've got my thoughts when it comes to the criminal justice system and how we treat former criminals, right? People who
right,
have done their time and then gone past it and come back out into society. So I have my thoughts on that. On the other hand, considering the situation we're in, it's just so hard to say that fits the bill because it's just kind of like, do I really want you
Yeah.
in that position?
Well,
Like it,
well,
the
for me, I'm necessarily, like I said, I'm not picking neither side because for me, I always tell people I'm for the people. I believe, us as a community should be making a lot of these decisions. And honestly, some of the stuff that, presidents do does not affect our communities, does not affect us. It
yeah,
is us that affects us pretty much. So my thing is like, is this going to change things? If he becomes the president, he's a felon, there would have to be some sort of push for more
you would
leniency.
think, you
Do you
would
think
think,
that's going to
and this
happen?
is no, and this is kind of where I get stuck in this situation, just because it's sort of it's like it's a hard mental calculus, right? Like on one hand, I do think when it comes to felonies and when it comes to certain how do I put it? Like post criminal justice like initiatives, things like that. Like if you've gone through the prison system or the jail system and you've you know gotten charges for something, I do think that to some degree we need to have a little bit more leniency in how we handle felons and how we handle certain things, because like there's obviously situations where people have caught felonies for unavoidable things or caught felonies for stupid things,
Right.
right? Like there's situations where that makes
Or
sense.
being, or
So we
they
need to
were,
be more lenient.
or you were inebriated or you were inebriated, you blacked out and woke up with a felony.
Right. I mean, well, no, not that one. That one's kind of like, hold on. So to some degree, I get it because like we do need to do a lot better with how we handle felons and former. I hate saying former criminals because that's just like a terrible connotation, but like that's sort of the reality. Like there was a crime you were convicted of, and we have to do better handling people that have gone through that process because to some degree, like a lot of the people that get caught up in our criminal justice system don't necessarily deserve the punishments that they get. This is
Right.
a weird situation though because the type of crowd we're dealing with right now just it doesn't feel like this is a win for the movement of more empathetic a more
Leniency.
empathetic criminal
Yeah.
justice system or lenient criminal justice system. This doesn't seem like that's that push. It just feels hypocritical because the same people that would be pushing for this to happen, for us to have a president who has 91, and I'm sorry, 91 is a hell of a number. 91 felonies.
I don't know if it was
Um,
91. I'm not exactly sure if that's the accurate. I thought it was like
it was
all
like
in like the
91
30s.
charges, I think. But
And
it
then
was,
34
no,
more
34
felonies. Either
charges.
either or, he got a shit ton of felonies. He got more felonies than a lot of
Yes.
the actual gangsters in the hood. But so okay, and this is the other
Right.
thing. This is something that kind of bothers me a little bit, and this is going to be the only one of the opinionated things that I have. I don't like how our community is accepting him for him being a felon. I'm not saying everybody,
I
like all
don't
of us,
like
but
it.
I am
Exactly.
I am seeing that. I'm seeing like rappers now with Donald Trump, and I'm like, that's not really the reason you should vote,
You,
you know, for somebody
right.
because they're a felon.
Like, that's not going to
So
help you.
and honestly, I think I'm gonna predict that while he's campaigning, I think he's going to use that to kind of get our side to get more behind him,
Yes.
and then what do you call it? If I think he might actually try to change those laws for leniency, because if he comes out there and he's like, as president, I'm gonna change the way that you get jobs, because that's like one of the that's where I'm like, this shit's gonna be crazy, because that is always one of the president's main campaigns all the way since I think like I was a baby. They're like, jobs, 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 we're gonna get more jobs. So
Hmm.
if they did make some leniency where like you can get, because I mean some of these jobs are like stupid. Some gas stations won't hire you if you're a felon.
Right.
Some restaurants and stuff. So I'm like,
And I mean, on one hand, I kind of get it. Like, this is where I hate to say it, like, I get kind of torn on that issue because there's some felonies where I understand the calculus of being cautious and wary. For instance, like drug charges. I get why certain fields are kind of like,
yeah,
maybe not.
or
Violent
like
charges.
robbery,
I understand.
robbery.
Right,
Yeah,
like
like
there's
robbery
certain
and stuff like that.
charges that it makes sense. Like in this case, now you said something kind of poignant. Like, what if he gets in office and then he says, you know what, I'm going to push to ease these restrictions on felons? That would be a good thing. The problem is, I just can't see that as a viable thing that he or members that push him would do because they just have their track record for doing things like that are just it's
Yeah,
just terrible
but
because it comes out very hypocritically because it'll be the same things. They'll be like, well, we want you to do this, but we're not going to give you we
right,
we don't want to actually give you the resource. So I don't believe it could happen, which
it's
is why I'm a little confused about people who are like, yeah, he's going to be a felon, so I want to vote for him. I'm like, that it I can't see it helping you. I can't see it helping you.
yeah.
Now, also considering the type of felonies these are, I genuinely don't think it makes sense for him to have that position.
It's
I'm just
it's
saying, like,
you
those are
you've
the
gone out
things that,
you've gone out your way to hide things and embezzle and everything. And I just feel like I really think United America is losing control because that shit don't make sense. Another
yes,
thing that I
no,
wanted to bring up that is sort of on the same topic, I have a person that I know, and they make pretty decent money, but with
yeah,
inflation and everything else constantly going up, this person is probably gonna have to get like another job just to keep up
yeah,
because this person is by themselves, right? So this person is my example. This person's by themselves, but by themselves alone, even with a good job, it's not enough. And the problem that I'm seeing is like the older that I get, the more I'm like these people in office don't know what the fuck they're doing because
yeah,
I'll break it down real quick too before we go to our next break. So if you have a job and inflation keeps coming like every couple months or however so often, all I know is this shit keeps going up and up. So it doesn't make sense for inflation to go up and then nobody's really getting raises. And if you do get a raise, it's 25 cents, 60 cents, maybe a dollar. And then
yeah,
the crazy part that I showed, because I'm a numbers person. So when I was talking to this person, I'm like, because they got like a dollar raise, right? So they got a dollar raise, and I'm like, honestly, if you look at this, yeah, you got a dollar raise, but you didn't get that raise till like you had to wait a whole year for that raise.
yep,
And on top of that, in the beginning of the year, a lot of people don't know if you do work a job that your jobs are raising the taxes that they take out of your check.
yeah.
So
So it's
how are you able to get a dollar raise but they just raised the shit, so it's like nobody's really making anything, even the people that, and I don't want nobody to get mad and cuss out their bosses, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying people are getting played because yes, you got a good job, yes, you got a dollar raise, but inflation is hitting you, and on top of it, your bosses are raising taxes out of your checks. There's a lot more money they're taking out of checks now.
so not only are so on that topic, like not only is it that there's more taxes being raised, which really comes about more due to how unfortunately it's how our tax code is written. Like it automatically adjusts itself that way, which is frankly kind of stupid, but it is what it is. Like a lot of tax laws really, really dumb. But so that's happening. At the same time, you have, and I'm going to be honest, I've never understood the calculus of this. It has never made sense to me that the
The
cost of
numbers are
living
the math is not mathing.
goes up when you get a raise. you get a bonus, and they realize that people are getting paid more, so they start charging more, which makes things still not affordable. And I never understood that. Like that cause and effect shouldn't be happening like that. Like it should be you get more so you can afford more, and so it should be more like this,
Right,
because
exactly.
this
That's
way
I'm like, so
everybody wins versus where it's kind of like I got more so I can, like, I got paid more so maybe I can get something better. They're like, nope, now that's more expensive because you got paid more. Like that doesn't make sense because then you
I,
can't afford it. Like you're
I think
overpricing people, and that just never made sense to me.
I think with us as people depending more on technology, analytics, AI, and everything, it's making us less human. Where like humans, there's no way that everybody that's a politician is not seeing this shit, and it's like I I don't know, like I don't want to say like it's gonna be something crazy, but I just don't feel like we're gonna be able to continue as a country under these
Not
circumstances.
not at the pace we're going. At
And
some point.
it makes me curious, like what is gonna happen? What is gonna mainly? And this year has already been full of so many different crazy surprises, and
Oh yeah.
so it's like where are we really gonna be as a country in 5, 10 years? Because we're not doing okay as a country, like not at all.
I
Our country's
mean,
not.
and to be honest, this is kind of a global thing. It's weird to see it
It,
happen that way, and we often think of things in like this one isolated place. But globally, we're all getting hit with the weirdest stuff, and it's just kind of like at some point we gotta hit a pause. We gotta hit a
we got
slowdown. Like
a great
we're
reset.
just right because we're just going to a steady climb to
Like
over a cliff, and I don't know why.
I feel like we doing so bad. Trump might just try to sell America to another country.
Oh, come on.
I'm almost
But
there
who would buy
though.
us? Who would buy us? Let's be honest.
Third world country,
We are
they could afford it.
expensive. Like who can actually afford the upkeep of America but America? Like come on.
All I know is that if we have a felon that's a president, it's just I think that's gonna everything has a cause and effect, and
Right.
I'm really worried because the other thing too is like if they do not change these laws, if we do allow a felon as a president and they do not change these laws, you're gonna have some really pissed off people, and
Oh, naturally.
felons is like the last people you want to push to that edge where they just have no more hope.
Yeah.
So I if you're a praying person, pray for America. Put
I
positive
mean,
energy in it.
I'm praying that
We're
a lot of our laws switch up regardless, because that just is something that we need to happen. Like that starts to become more of a human rights issue when you look
yeah
at it, because some of these, and like I said, sometimes I get it, like the wariness of certain positions hiring certain people. Like I know people who have had caught felonies or even just misdemeanors for really interesting things, right? But they're
yeah
applying for fields that you're around the materials that are going to be a problem. Like you got tagged for theft, and you're
yeah.
around high end, expensive things or drugs or whatever. And
And
I can't imagine wanting you to be near that because the temptation for
right,
people is amazing.
I just think that like it just should be as simple as you said it. Like it should be something where you just be a human being. Don't put that shit in a computer. Be a human person and be like, okay, this person had a felony at 19 years old, but now they're 40 years old and hasn't gotten in
Right.
no trouble since. Okay, that
Right.
person's but like you said, if if you got a felony for robbery, you should work at a jewelry store.
Or you shouldn't work
But
at a bank. Like clearly there's
but
some things here.
you could work in like maybe a factory with something that's not like putting $2 boxes
Or
together
like
and
do
shit.
customer service, or like there's
Yeah,
some things you should be able to do. And I just think right now a lot of our laws are so black and white that the
it's
nuance
it's
gets lost.
I think I think just shit is overlapping because, like, I think once we started disrespecting the Constitution, once the police started disrespecting the Constitution, politicians, once we started doing that and messing with that, then just like I don't know. I just
Yeah,
have a feeling like we're about to get into some shit, and I think it's gonna be one of the we're
yeah,
about to be living. If not now, we're living in the most important times because we need a great reset. There's just things that don't make sense. There's still racist laws. There's still Jim Crow laws in certain southern places, and
still,
so it's like
still.
that's why I'm kind of bummed out with this whole presidency because I don't see anybody that is fit for that
Well,
title.
that's the other issue, and I know this topic's probably gotten a little long, but that is the other issue happening right now that I think like we really got to address at some point. Like part of the problem we're seeing is that our country was built in kind of a half-assed, unfinished fashion, right? Like when a lot of the original things were put into place, and I say original with quotations because history is kind of funny.
Hmm.
But when things were put into place, a lot of it was intentionally half-assed because they were thinking we don't know how the future's going to look, so let's give them some room. Except we have now hit the point where some of those things needed to be written in the law before we got here. And now we're seeing some issues. Like we've got politicians, and I'm not being ageist here, like we literally have politicians that are quite literally too dang old to be
Yeah.
holding office and
Yeah.
directing our laws because we're needing to change things that a lot of a lot of the people in there just aren't willing to change. We're seeing two presidents that are going to be octogenarian, that are yeah, octogenarians. That's the word, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're in your like 80s and 90s, like
Hmm. Or
what?
where you're. I think it's to a point where it's like when your age starts affecting your mind, then you're not fit. Like that's if it's
And
affecting your mind,
neither of
and
them are good options.
then you have countries that like really don't like us. So it's like I don't know. I don't see really a winner. So that's why I said like honestly, I'm for the people. I try to make the changes that I can in my community, and my job is to protect the wife and kids. So, that's it for me on this topic. It's definitely a touchy one. For those that are listening, we would like to know, like, how do you feel? Do you think that the law should change? I really wanted to talk to a lawyer. So if there's a lawyer listening, reach out to me. I think we can have definitely a great
Yeah,
conversation because I want to see the legality of it. Maybe we can get you onto the show. Those are my last
I
thoughts.
mean,
Seth, did you
I'm
have
with
any last
you.
thoughts on that?
I'm honestly with you on that, on the lawyer piece, because I feel like we're in such a weird legal gray area that I don't know what we're supposed to do with this. Like, what are we supposed to do with this crap?
Yeah,
Somebody tell me, because I could have sworn it was illegal, but now I'm just confused.
yeah. So we'll need a lawyer. So if there's a lawyer listening, make sure you guys tap in. Um, we're gonna take a quick little break, and then when we get back, we're gonna lighten it up with a little soy talk. I am Brandon Connor, and I am here with my co-host.
Suffer spirit.
All right, let us know what we got going on with this soy bit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this thing, I have to laugh every time I hear it because it. I heard this like I want to say almost 10 years ago was the first time I heard something like this, and it was so weird, kind of out of the blue too. I'm actually not sure where this conversation came up. And I won't say who told me because they'd probably murder me. But at some point, somebody mentioned to me that soy. I'm sorry, considering the month, this just makes me giggle. Feminizes men, and I was like, huh? Pause, right? Like, so the whole thing was you cannot have soy because it makes men more feminine. And
Makes them
I
sassy.
think I've just, right. And I've just been kind of confused about that for a very long time. And every time I think about it, I laugh because I just can't figure out where this came from. I really don't know where the theory comes
I,
from. I've heard,
I I think it's funny because, and shout out to that person. We all have those moments, but I think it's funny because obviously I don't think that person knows how much soy is introduced to our lives. How many, you
Yeah,
know, you got candles, crayons, food products, cookies, cake, all these different, things about it. And like I said, like for me, I thought it was funny because like I had two kids back to back, like no break, just back to back. And one of my favorite things is soy, and I love Chinese food, so I'll be soying it up. And then I think the second pregnancy, my wife, no, after the first pregnancy, my wife craved soy food. So I'm like,
I
I
mean,
don't know, maybe,
they
or
do
maybe, or maybe,
say.
maybe it has the opposite effect. Maybe soy can help women get pregnant.
So it's weird. Possibly, honestly, that is the possibility because they do say the soy. So part of the theory, and there's a couple of theories out there. They're very fun and fascinating, and I just giggle because I'm like, where do these things come from? Um,
You got a
but
list
one
for us?
part of the theory has to do with, I guess, the fact that soy can increase estrogen levels, right? So the theory goes that because it can increase estrogen levels, it can introduce, I'm sorry, more breast tissue in men and
Okay.
shrink testicles. And I don't know, like the original thing I first heard about it was that the conspiracy was to use soy to feminize men so that they become more feminine. And I, I just like, and it was, I guess, specifically targeted towards black people, but at the same time, everyone eats
What
soy
everything is
products.
they don't everything is what do you call it, an attack on black people to raise our blood pressure.
I mean, to be fair, like there's some legitimacy to certain theories
Yeah.
that I've come across about targets towards the African American community, but that one was just sort of weird because it's like, why that of all
Out of
things? Like
all, yeah, soy. I don't
soy,
know.
like it's a cheap crop that is efficient and actually pretty healthy for you. Like
I
it
don't want to.
does
I don't
none
want to.
of the things people say it does.
I don't want to sound racist or anything, but have you seen China's population?
Yeah, that's so. That's actually one of pieces of why they say it feminizes you. But I'm
Yeah.
like, really?
I,
Because I feel like we would have no males if that was the
yeah.
case.
I think the number
And
one
it
thing that feminizes men is the internet.
honestly, I think the whole concept of feminizing men in general, and this is going to get people mad at me, is kind of blown out of proportion, touch outrageous. But I've got thoughts on that. That's a whole other day category
That's
for a
another
whole
topic.
other day.
And you said you had a
Whole
list
other
for
day.
us. You said you had an interesting
I
list.
do not have a list because
Oh, I
I
thought you
don't,
had the list for. I thought you had an interesting list of facts for us.
honestly I do. So you mentioned that soy isn't everything, right? So what soy actually it does is it provides more protein. So it is a good protein source. Um it's just a good vegetable that's good for you. The other fact I have,
Isn't it? Isn't soy a bean though?
it's a bean. So
Okay.
I say vegetable, but it's a legume. It's basically, honestly, just a very good food to have in your system, which is part of the reason why it's so plentiful.
Yeah.
Is just because it's so useful and it doesn't cost a lot. It does not do any of those things that they say it does. Like, for whatever reason, the assumption is that it has an effect on estrogen levels.
Right.
Um, it doesn't. All of these studies that people have been quoting have to do with rats, and it's just very weird. Um, yes, soy doesn't have any effect on testosterone levels either, which is really funny too, actually, because the irony of I guess how you would describe anatomy is that the way our bodies work is sort of counterintuitive, like for both male and female, right? So,
Yeah.
for instance, you know how when women are during pregnancy, I don't know if you know this, we actually have an increase in estrogen.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is me quoting high school anatomy. I'm trying to remember all of the facts, but basically, what we're constantly told is that men have testosterone and women have estrogen, except we all have both. It's just men actually tend to have more estrogen in their system
Oh, really?
naturally than we do, than
Really?
women do at certain times. So hormones will increase our estrogen, which ironically will increase your mood swings, will increase your aggression, will increase your things like that,
Right.
right? So testosterone has the opposite effect. And it's kind of funny. It's just a weird fact that I remember from anatomy like 10 years ago. um, but it's just those things that you learn about your body, about the body, that make me giggle, because we hear stuff like, oh, feminized men. Like, no,
But
that's
I
not
think there's
really
just
how our body works.
I think there's just so many different conspiracies and stuff because of the food. And I mean, honestly, something is messing with us because if you see teenagers in the 70s and 80s, they look a lot different than the teenagers we have in today's community. So I can see that some food does and some food doesn't. Me, I'm always gonna be a soy fan. I'm always gonna be a big soy fan. So I'm gonna eat that
Oh,
soy.
yeah. Guys,
If you
eat your
guys have,
soy, have tofu, be happy, screw everybody else.
yeah, do whatever makes you feel good.
Be a soy boy.
Uh,
I'm joking.
I'm yeah, soy boy, team soy boy.
I mean,
So,
that's what they call them apparently, is like feminized men who eat soy are called soy
yeah.
boys, which, it's not a thing. It's just a myth.
On my last thoughts, I'm just gonna say, let's go get some Chinese food, put some soy on it, and see how it makes you feel. See if you get a little sassy or not, and then go from there.
I mean, and look, if you get sassy, keep in mind we are in the month of sass. So be sassy. Shoot.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're gonna be talking about our final topic. Do you have an actual physical body when you pass? So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Backspace. I am your host, Brandon Connor, with my co-host,
Stuff. Stuff your
and
spirit.
this has been an amazing episode as usual. Our final topic of the evening is: do we believe ghosts have physical bodies? For me, I think it's a little far fetched to picture a ghost having a heart and a brain and fingernails and toes and all of this. And like when you see them on TV, they're wearing usually like a gown or some creepy clothes or some shit. But it's like if you pass and you die in like a fresh white tee and some jeans and some Jordans, am I gonna be like in the afterlife walking around with these Jordans? Personally, I just believe that. I'm a high believer in energy. I believe that when you pass, if you are a ghost, I think it's more of an energy, like an aura, you will probably see. And I think when it comes to loved ones, because when we lose someone and we want to see them so bad, our eyes play tricks on us. There's plenty of optical illusions you can find online. Our eyes are constantly playing tricks on us. So there's a possibility because we love them so much that we want to see them. And that's why we have all these people saying, well, I saw my great auntie coming down the stairs. Like I don't know. I'm gonna call bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on having a physical
So
body after.
honestly, I'm a little torn. And I say this because, so for reference, as I was looking this up, there's no real way to confirm this because, at the end of the day, we don't really know what
Right.
happens in the afterlife. We don't, there's nothing concrete. And I say concrete because, we have psychics and all that other stuff.
Mm.
Um, and
I
a good
I
chunk of
believe
psychics aren't even actually psychic. Like, do I believe psychics exist? Yes. Do I believe most of the people who say they are psychics? No. But on the topic of like ghosts and spirits and things like that, like on one hand, I do
I
believe like
believe
there's that's an existence because I
I
myself have
believe that
had
there's ghosts.
encounters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I believe that. Like I've had encounters my like on a personal level that tell me this is something that is existing. I can't say for sure whether physical bodies in the afterlife like make much sense, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I came across a video on YouTube that was talking about spiritual bodies, and ascending higher planes, and that sounds nice, but I don't know why my brain was kind of like I feel like I need to see some level of proof, but like we won't have proof until you can actually contact someone, right? And
Yeah.
then in a different video, somebody mentioned having contact with people in the afterlife, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we have bodies. We can even, enjoy all the things we used to do before." And I'm like,
Mm. I just see like for
on
me,
one
I just
hand, I could kind of picture it, but on the other hand, how? I want to
I
understand the logistics.
like it's to me it's just too much of the physical plane. Like it's just too much of Earth for me to believe that because you gotta go like your hair. So is your hair combed? Do you have to maintain it? Is it just gonna stay styled like that
I mean,
forever? You know, do you have
according
ghost gel? You got ghost gel. You got a clippers. You got
so
to get
that'd
some
be
ghost
awesome.
clippers.
That
Like,
would be really
oh, what
awesome
about
if
it?
that
Like,
happened.
if you're a ghost and you have a body, what if you died ashy? What are you gonna do? You gonna go and haunt someone and steal their lotion because you got to keep your ghost in these haunt? Like, it's just to me, it's just too many things
I
that I
mean,
just
that
don't
would
see how
honestly be
because
pretty funny.
I'd be pretty
I
terrifying
mean,
if I
it
walk
would
in the
be
bathroom and
funny.
my lotion bottle's just floating. Yeah. So it's like
Honestly,
I
at
just
that
don't
point, that's when you
see.
just have a conversation. Like, you could borrow the
And
lotion,
then
but
it's
put it
like
back.
you got toes. You got little toes and stuff. You got to cut your little ghost toenails. It's just too many questions for me to believe that you are gonna have a physical body.
See,
Um,
I have a hard time with it. I just don't know if I don't know for sure, right? Like I mentioned I've had my own experiences with, I guess you could say, spiritual entities, supernatural entities, things like that. Like, but I haven't with my own eyes seen things, and I'm saying it in that manner because I know it sounds sketchy. Like I've seen things, but I haven't actually seen technically I guess you would say human ghosts, like an actual outline of a person necessarily.
right.
Now I do know people who have, like, one of our producers, she just mentioned in the background, that she has seen like the physical outline of people, of
No,
persons,
no. I do believe that spirits can imitate us, but I feel like it's more like in shadows and it's in your peripheral. I think your peripheral is like one of the most greatest things that we have. That's like spiritual, because a lot of people don't understand. Like your peripheral will more than likely every single person will see something in their peripheral that's not correct or that's not of
yeah,
this plane.
and then you
And so
check it with your real sight, and then you're like, okay, that was
and
weird, but I'm gonna move on.
there's in like the hoodoo and magic world, shat is called like shadow work. So there's in magic wise about shadows and coming to because a lot of people. So the thing too is like a lot of people say that they see things before they die, like
Yeah,
shadows and stuff like that too. So it's like I also take an accountability of a lot of the people of their like last words or who they were talking to. And for me, it's just like I look at the numbers. I think like statistic wise, if you have almost a billion people saying that they seen ghosts, if you have a half a million people and their last words was them talking to something that's not there, I believe that it's a possibility. I think the crazy thing though on the dying part though is I think as we're dying, like a chemical releases in our brain that kind of has
if I
something to do
remember
with that.
correctly,
I'm
I
not.
think that
Yeah.
happens.
So I just don't see, like, I don't see a ghost, like. And like, how would companies feel about that? Like, there was a ghost with the new Gucci purse. Like, you gonna bring your purse and stuff, and then like, what's in your purse? Like, it's just I don't
I mean,
I,
so on
I
that
don't
level,
physically
I don't
see
know if it's that extensive. Now, do I think they probably have
it.
like a physical presence? Yes. Do I know if their bodies would be like, I can't picture our bodies having
It's
to be maintained the same way we have to maintain them on the human side because we're no longer
and
living.
I don't want to
But
get us
on the
canceled.
other hand,
Good,
I
good,
think it could be a possibility. Just I don't know if it would be as much detail. One of
right.
the psychics I came across mentioned, you would be you in your prime. It would be as you imagine it. So, like on a spiritual level, it would be what you envision. And in that case, I can kind of imagine having some level of body, body structure, but not like functioning organs, not like things that actually you have to maintain, but like you have a
So
general structure,
so I can make myself
like
taller.
you have a form,
Yeah, but
right? Like
that's what I'm saying.
I can
That
imagine
goes
that it
back
would be
to
something where you could change it.
that goes back to shadow work. Pretty much, it's a shadow, because it's like, I don't know, like, with every single ghost, it's like they always have like a gown or some like basic shit we never really seen. And then it goes to like the whole transgender thing too. It's like, okay, you were born this way, but what are you going to be when you pass? So that means,
I
even
mean,
if
in
you
that
if you had the
situation, I would
surgery,
imagine you'd be as you
it's
imagine yourself to be.
and it's still crazy though, because in order for you to become that person, you had to have surgery, so your surgery continues on in the afterlife.
Honestly, I think for people in that situation, that would
You definitely
probably be like what would probably be ideal. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just like what would be ideal would be if you were to pass, like your soul aligns now in a physical sense with where it has always been. I don't know if that makes
so
sense,
so
but like
I'm gonna say, like, so
your form
ladies.
takes on the shape of what your soul was meant to be. Like, so if you had to in life, have to get a surgery to correct your physical attributes, maybe in the afterlife, your soul automatically takes on the form it was already meant to be in.
I just
Like,
don't
or
see the right. I
you
don't.
knew you were going to be in.
I feel like everything has its like purpose, and I was like, for us to have a body in this world has plenty of purposes. For us to reproduce, for us to eat, for us
Yeah.
to enjoy, for us to do certain things. And I just feel like, to go from having this body to having another body, but it's not exactly a body. It's kind of weird. Like, do I have to use the bathroom anymore? Do I have to, like, it's
I would hope not because some of that stuff is annoying.
like,
Like,
I saw that's funny. I saw this because I was watching Ghost Stories a couple days ago, and this dude comes out, and he said it was like ghost stories, or it was something like of like people telling the stories, and then they like reacted
oh,
out.
okay.
That shit had me dying laughing. This dude went out, and he said he was waiting on his ride, and there was a dude peeing like by the dumpster. And then when he went to go get in his car, as he was passing the dumpster, the guy vanished. So I'm like,
Hmm.
you saw a ghost pissing ghost pee?
I mean,
I
it
don't
could
know.
happen. Like, he could be
Uh,
imitating something he's done in life and like in the living. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. If we are seeing beings that have passed who are still hanging around for God knows what reason,
I think
imitating
we
how
would.
they used to behave.
I think we would get more like witness accounts, like, of a better description, because in all the descriptions, most of them describe them wearing like basic stuff, not like Sean John, or you know button up T-shirts and
That's
stuff.
fair.
And for me, and the thing is like, I don't believe it is like, even the people that said that they see bodies. Once again, I think it's an optical illusion. You may have seen a ghost, but because you cared about that person, or your mind, because when our mind wants to do something and wants to see something, it takes control over it. Like you can go to YouTube and put in optical illusions, and you think you're looking at a horse, but really it's the Empire State Building of New York. Like, so it's like I don't think we could trust our eyes when it comes to that. And it's just, to me,
To be fair,
it's a silly thing to picture, because it's just like, okay, well, shit. And if you do have a body, I guess you're getting your money's worth, because maybe if you got a BBL in this life, now you got a big ass, you're a big ass ghost, like you
or
got a
maybe
big ass vagina.
you were able to afford it, and now you can imagine yourself having
No shit. If
like
it
you
is
can
that,
just
I actually like that.
manifest it.
That one's my favorite one. Like I hope that's true, because I'm gonna be tall as shit. I'm tired of being 5'7". I'm gonna be I'm
Look,
gonna be six.
I am
I'm gonna be six.
tiny and I need a couple inches. Okay, I don't
I'm
have to be
gonna,
a giant, but I'd like to be 5'5".
I'm gonna be 6'5", and I'm gonna have the cleanest lineup ever.
See,
I
there you
never
go. That's positive thinking. Like,
go see,
just
go
on
see
your
my ghost
deathbed,
barber.
I want to look like this. I want to look like this.
Yeah,
I want to.
I want to be a white man in my next life.
Let's not be ruckus, man. Come
No, I'm gonna
on.
be. I'm not gonna be a racist white man, but I just want to, see, maybe
You just
the
want to see what
privilege.
it's like.
Yeah, I want
You
to
just want
see,
the
maybe.
privilege.
Shit, maybe if we have a body, we might have credit up there too. Maybe that might up my credit score. A little ghost
No, I
credit.
would cry. I would cry if I have to have credit in the afterlife because no, that is unfair. Okay, I'm supposed to be happy. Why you gotta saddle me like this? Why do I have to worry about? If I gotta worry about bills in the afterlife, I'm gonna be like, just put me back on Earth, okay? Because
Right, you get you a little you got you a little ghost apartment.
like I didn't die to have to pay rent.
Uh, and
That's
so and but so the other thing that, so for me, I am a person, and this shit drives people crazy when I tell people this. I believe in many things. I'm never a person that's just like, oh, that's how it works and that's it. I'm like, that might be it, that might be it, that might be it, that might be it, or that might be it. And
I
at the
agree.
end, and then I might be wrong, because for me, like, I personally, if I have any say so in the afterlife, and that's the other thing, is because I'm looking at the scientific thing of working. In order for me to speak how I'm speaking, I have to have certain things that's going on in my body that are working together. So it's like, yeah, like you can have the image of it, but like, how are you speaking? How are you walking if you're just an image, if you don't have the ligaments to move? Like, I'm just a smart ass, so I'm like, I don't know. But I also believe in reincarnation. I think reincarnation is a possibility as well.
I
That's
agree
my
that
that's
that's a possibility. I mean, there's so many paths that I take I have the opinion that many of our faiths are informed by some level of reality.
yeah,
Some of them, no, they're like some of them I will put them in the box of yeah, y'all are made up, like quite literally made up, and not in the sense that oh, I saw this and I thought this could happen, but in the I purposefully created you to do a thing that you're now doing, kind of made up.
so,
Like, so there's some faiths I look at that I side the crap out of because I'm like,
yeah.
you don't align. Like you are for ill, and I can see you, and I know what you're doing. But then there's
Some
plenty of faiths that it's like, okay, to some degree, I see where your foundation comes from and the possibility of you being partially accurate. I'm going to say partially accurate is there because on one hand, while I don't think everyone is fully accurate, I do believe that there's like nuggets of
yeah.
accuracy in like everything, except
I
for those ones I'm
also
side eyeing.
I also think, like, what if this is a theory that I'm gonna throw out there that might be crazy. What if we're speaking on reincarnation, we'll get back to the ghost and the physical thing. What if we experience everything once? We experience being a
Hmm.
human. We experience and be because time, we made time. Like, we gave time its name, and we said this is time and everything else. So, if there is no time and we've been around for billions of years, what if we experience everything once? We just don't know it.
I see. That would, on one hand, that would be really interesting because I wouldn't mind being like a wolf or a fox or anything like that. I would cry if I was ever a spider. I would cry. Like I would be, I
That's
would honestly
and that's
look
the
to the
terrifying
heavens
part.
and just ask, why would you do this to me? Okay?
That is
Like
that's the
you know
terrifying part.
why. Like what if somebody,
that's the terrifying part
oh, I
about
had a horrible
reincarnation
thought. Like I just
is
had a
you could
horrible thought. Like, what if somebody reincarnated as a stingray that, like, just horrible thoughts that I'm like,
let's
no,
see
no, you're putting weird thoughts in my
and
head. Stop it.
and 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 the crazy thing though is the one of the biggest civilizations that talked about the two was the Mayans, and they disappeared. To this day they don't know where they went. And then the Egyptians, and there's a lot of Egyptians with coffins with no mummies. And these two
Hmm.
both believe in reincarnation. And then you have a lot of people, like, I think dreams could be, connected, because it's there's one thing that I've noticed about dreams is just how personal sometimes dreams feel. how
Oh
how
yeah.
it seems like you were so invested into that other life to wake up into this one. So, I think it could be a thing of reincarnation. I think if you do come back as a ghost, I think you're more an aura, an energy. Sometimes that can be seen, or you're a shadow. And then I think the final one is that our energy gets recycled and we become stars. Because there's probably just as many
I like
stars
that.
as there's humans. Those are my three. Hopefully one of them's right. I wouldn't mind being a star,
That
because the thing
last
is
one
like,
is fun.
so the thing with the star though is because you have no physical body, you have no mind, you have no mouth, you have nothing. It's just your energy is in becomes that star. So, and a lot of people look up and they see stars, or a lot of people have witnesses of seeing a shooting star when someone passes. And so, you know what? I want to hear what everybody else thinks. I want to hear what our followers think for sure. What do you think? Do you think you're going to get a physical body? Do you think you're going to be able to make
Honestly,
yourself look like Michael Jordan? Is it a
I don't
is it
want
a
to.
simulation? Are we aliens
Oh
in
my
a
gosh.
game? Maybe we're
You
aliens in a
know,
simulation.
yeah. Okay, so on one hand, look, I don't know if I want to be in a simulation because some of the stuff we've had to deal with is just nonsense. Like that's just unfair. Why you gotta do all of that to us if we're in a simulation? You could have just let us be happy and chill
It's,
and brutal. On the other hand, do I believe we have physical bodies in the afterlife? I hate to be that person, but I don't know. I hate to be definitive when I genuinely don't know the answer to something.
yeah.
And so in this situation, my response is I ain't gonna know until I die. And
Even
hopefully
then,
if I do,
even then, you were not even gonna know.
right, like if I do have a physical body and I'm for some reason able to come back and visit the people of this planet or am forced to or whatever, if any of these stories are accurate, right? Like if any of the even the shows we see about the afterlife are semi accurate and we start haunting people,
Yeah.
I will come back with my body and let y'all know, hey, so you need this is what you
that's
need to do. Like I would love for
that's I'm like
I mean, don't tell me, but tell somebody. Like I would love for a spiritual entity to tell someone what we need to do
uh, if you got if
before
this
we
ghost
go.
has if this ghost have enough energy to throw a chair or some shit at me, you need to get on this laptop and start working on a book, a
I
ghost
mean,
book. That
look,
should be crazy.
look, I so in terms of like manifestation of physical phenomena from spiritual entities, I can tell you that stuff is that's definitely for real. Like I've had
And
that kind of encounter
so my thing
before.
is like that's crazy
But
that we have
physical
not.
bodies, I don't know. Like, can you touch
We
anything, or is it just a manifestation of energy?
and
I don't know.
and and that's
Tell
the other
us.
thing too, is if you are a ghost and you have a physical body, why ain't none of these ghosts, if you're able to throw a chair, open the door, just destroy shit or whatever, if you're able to do stuff like that, how come you can't type? Because you should be on my laptop typing.
You
Type a
know,
story, tell us how it works.
So I think that could actually happen. I mean, I've come across some weird stuff that makes me believe that some of that could happen. I just don't know if it's like
If
the way we think it's happening. And like the way we picture it happening is probably not how it's happening. So I don't know. I would love
it's
for, like I said, a spiritual entity to come tell someone, just not me.
yeah.
You don't need to appear before me. I'm
Look,
comfy, and we're
if
good.
if I if I get fingers, if I have fingers and I'm a ghost, see, you just made me a ghost. Nah, if I get fingers,
See, the ghost took
if I
you
get
out.
that's what I'm saying though. If I get fingers, if I go as a ghost and I get fingers, I'm gonna come back and write a whole album and I'm gonna release it.
Hey, like
So we'll find out.
honestly, that'll put a whole new meaning to
I just
ghostwriting.
exactly there you go. A boosh. So hey, that's it for me on
Wait,
this
are you gonna
topic. Like I
write
said,
Drake's next
uh,
song? Is that what's gonna happen?
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna be his rogue. I'm gonna be a rogue ghostwriter. So that's all I have on that topic. It's been an amazing episode. Did you have any last thoughts that you wanted to throw in there?
No,
I really
no.
want to
Look, if
hear.
you're a spiritual entity, come tell someone in the universe, someone in our world, what's going on, what we need to do. Give us an instruction manual. Even if you gotta write it from the beyond, please do. Just like I said, don't tell me. I don't need. Don't tell me.
Make yeah, just go visit the presidents. Go visit the ones that are voting for presidents and help them fix this country, one or the other.
Yes.
Or if you're a ghost and you have a physical body, come on out and you could probably run for president.
I mean, you can pop on our show. I just I'm gonna look this way. If
Look,
it's okay.
I'm gonna leave my note. I'm gonna leave my notepad up. And if the ghost wants to text me, then
I mean,
he'll
I
be
don't
up.
summon spiritual entities, so
I
that's
got a
that's
I got a I got a sort of semi. I have a sort of Ouija board as my. It's not like a
oof.
Ouija board. It's like a Ouija board, but it's a big mouse pad.
Oh my god, why would you do that to yourself?
I don't really haven't had nothing too crazy happen, and I've not
No,
activated it.
you said too crazy, too crazy.
There's been a
Something
couple.
already
There's been a
happened.
couple. There's been a couple weird things that's happened in that area, for sure. But
See, see, this is why I don't mess with it.
it's been pretty positive. They just play music sometimes. That's the only weird part. They
See, they're telling you they're around, they're floating. They just
yeah.
now you gotta ask them, do you have a body, and see what happens.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll find out eventually. Maybe we should do it. Maybe we should just get a real Ouija board and then do an episode and see
No,
what we can
no,
happen.
no. We'll have a
Look,
guest on. You can do it with them. It won't be me. No,
we'll do
no,
it in
no,
the
fam.
we'll do it at the guest house.
No, fam. No,
Bring it
fam.
over there.
No.
So
Uh-uh.
that's all I got on this episode. For that, I really want to hear from other people. So if you are listening, hit up the Project Backspace page. If you know me personally, message me. If you know Steph, message her. I really want to get your opinion on this. And yeah, we're gonna be getting ready to go live as well. So we're definitely looking
Woo.
forward to bringing this community in. So those that are listening, hit us up and we'll probably have the information when we're going to be going live. I'm looking forward to that. I really want to see a lot of my people there. And look, we're going to wrap this up here. And that's my last words. You got any last words?
No.
Hey, so for me, I just want to shout out, like I said, Project Backspace, on the camera, behind the camera. It's an amazing team. Everybody at What's Good Radio, make sure you guys support. I do not have no shows for the rest of this month, but David Sold Out will be performing July 22nd. I do not have that information in front of me right now, but I will probably post it on the Project Backspace page for you guys to check it out, and it'll probably be on the What's Good Radio page. And right now, I am just networking and looking forward to talking to people. So you can reach me at callmewhoelse.com. Everything social media wise, Instagram, Twitter, all that is call me who else. So just search that or hashtag call me who else and you'll find me. Let's network this month and let's talk about different topics and other stuff like that. Steph?
So you can find me on our Project Backspace page on Facebook. You can try and catch me on my social medias. I apologize, I'm doing better. So you can find me on Instagram at kkvantis69, or no, I'm not even gonna be on Twitter. I'm not even gonna lie to myself like that. I still won't call it the new name. I'm not gonna lie to myself. But as far as upcoming things, I'm trying to remember all of the things we have going on, and I'll be honest, it's a bunch of stuff. But the biggest thing I can think of right now is coming July 27th. We will be having Rainbow Splash, which it's a summer fun festival. Come out, hang out with the community. I will be posting the Facebook event page on our Facebook, but you can get your ticket link. You can actually get your tickets now. The admission is free. If you want to participate in the water balloon fight, you gotta grab some water balloons. But like I said, admission's free. We'll have some awesome vendors. You'll probably see me and my co-host there.
I
We'll
will be
have
there.
a water fight, some games. It'll be awesome.
I'm bringing
That
the
is going to.
kids. I'm bringing the kids, so
Woo!
yeah, so it's gonna be a family fun event. So you can your kids can come play with my kids as long as your kids are not bad. Because if your kids are bad, I'm gonna come talk to you and then be like, hey, look,
Amen.
your kids is bad. So if your kids is bad, don't bring the kids to the function, okay? Everybody's
Oh
trying to have a
yeah,
good
no,
time.
no. Like
No
we
bad
want
kids
to
are
be
allowed.
fun, guys.
It's gonna be a
But
fun, amazing event. I'm super looking forward to
I
that.
want to
That's gonna
see
be
all you guys there.
that's gonna
So it's
be
going to be
my
from
first.
1 to 5.
Is that our producer?
That was you.
Producers.
Our
So
producers in the
good.
background.
Make sure you guys do that, and then we're gonna probably post that link on Project Backspace if it's not already up there,
Yes,
but we're gonna have that. I think we should pin it, so if you go to Project Backspace, we'll have that information up there, and then we'll probably have it
yes.
pinned so that way you can go directly to it. Definitely come out, come support. It's gonna be real fun. Did you have
And
anything else
if you
that you wanted
guys,
to?
I do. So if you guys are looking to vend at Rainbow Splash, I do also have a vendor page up. So I will post that link as well. Come out. It'll be from 1 to 5 at Spring Creek Park. Bring t-shirts you want to get wet in, swimsuits. We'll have tons of water around. Hopefully, everybody's going to have some fun.
It's gonna be a great time. It's definitely gonna be a great time. How can they find you as well online?
So, like I said, you can definitely find me on the Project Backspace page. I will respond to all of our comments. You can typically find me on my Instagram at the KKVantis69. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, fine, but it'll be at the Suffer Spirit. It'll be Suffer Spirit 69. And I don't know. You may also be able to find me on the What's Good Radio page, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
But make sure you guys come out support and check out What's Good Radio. Like I said, What's Good Radio is 24/7 hour radio, family friendly. I listen to it when I'm with my kids, so it is definitely good to listen to for that or for work or any other places you want to. This has been an amazing episode. Yeah, did you have something you wanted to ask?
I believe we'll be going live here soon.
Yeah, so next episode, I believe we'll be going live. So I'm definitely looking forward to people coming in because I know I've had people ask about that. So we're gonna be making that a thing. So come through. I'll be reaching out to some people directly, and it'll be on our pages for that once we get the time and the details set up. So yeah, this has been an
Yes.
amazing episode. I appreciate everyone supporting. Everybody, What's Good Radio, staff, camera, behind camera, thank you guys so much. It's been an amazing ride so far, and it's only going to get better from here. Thank you so much. Until next time, we'll be back.
Adieu.